And good morning, my friends. My name is Gershy Schwarcz, and I'm your host on Edge. Today is Monday, Parshas Vayatzai. It's Dalet Kislev Tufshim Pai Vov, and it's November 24th, 2025. My name is Gershy Schwarcz, and again, I am your host on Edge. As I predicted last week on Friday, Erev Shabbos, but the point is that we said that Trump and Mamdani were going to meet in the White House, and they will leave as friends, from foes to friends. It was so. V'kachava, as they say. It was such a great meeting that I even posed for a picture afterwards, before the press conference, in front of FDR's portrait that Trump found and is proud of that he found. On Edge News is powered by Yiddish24, reaching nearly 60,000 Yidden every day through Yiddish24 and Kol Mevaser, for those of you who know, in Yiddish. Now in English, Baruch Hashem. It's our second week. The English edition is brought to you by The Click. The Click, to all of you, is known to as the LakewoodLuach.com, trusted source for minyanim, eateries and local updates across Lakewood, clean, filtered, straight and to the point on Edge News. Breaking news. Israel just took out the very top military commander of Hezbollah in a massive airstrike. His name is Haitham Ali Tabatabai. Let's see if you can pronounce it and send me your recording of yourself pronouncing it. Was killed in a precision airstrike in the heart of Beirut today. He didn't just lead troops, he founded the elite Radwan unit, the famous unit that all the terror that we hear from the world came out from that unit, and designed the original invasion plan that Hamas later copied to attack Israel back on October 7th. Tabatabai was also the general who kept Assad in power in Syria for years. In fact, when he left Syria recently to try and rebuild Hezbollah's shattered army in Lebanon, the Syrian regime collapsed without him. Experts say he was the most dangerous military mind the terror group had left. The US had $5 million bounty on his head. And one senior American official reacted to his death with just 3 words: Yalla Mazal Tov. Countries that accuse Israel of war crimes are quietly sending their armies to learn from the IDF. Over 100 senior military leaders from nearly 20 nations just finished a 5-day visit to Israel. They came to study the exact tactics used in the war over the last 2 years. The group included representatives from, you guessed it, France, Canada, Japan, and Germany. These are the same governments that have criticized Israel or even paused weapons shipments recently. Yet they come to learn about using artificial intelligence, coordinating drones, and saving injured soldiers on the battlefield. From foes to friends, or better yet, from boycotters to classmates. Amit Segal asked a simple question, an Israeli journalist. If these leaders truly believe Israel is acting wrongly, why are they sitting in Israel in one classroom and take notes? Okay, let's talk about Protobite. Now, if you have a business and you've ever found yourself in a problem and you don't know where to begin because all your subscriptions are creating headaches, and more so, they are creating headaches for your customers when they go onto your website and they don't know what they're doing or where they're going, or you don't know what you're doing or where you're going because you have so many different software and applications to keep track of. Call Protobite, put it all in one place. Marber Software Daga 347-354-1237. Mention on Edge, get a good discount. Russia. President Donald J. Trump told reporters that if President Zelensky refuses the new peace deal, he can continue to fight his little heart out, in his words, on his own. Trump insisted this is not his final offer, but made it clear he wants the war ended immediately. However, there is a major twist in the deal, in the 2020 Chovches plan. According to reliable reports, Secretary of State Marco Rubio told senators that the 28-point plan was actually written by Russia and not the United States. I said Chovches for those of you tuning in for the first time to On Edge, because it happened on Chovches Cheshvan that he wrote Chovches, the 28-point plan. Just saying. Senator Mike Rounds says that the Trump administration simply passed the Russian document to Ukraine to force a response. So, the US peace plan everyone is talking about may actually be a Kremlin wish list handed over by the White House. After those comments made headlines, Rubio posted on social media that the plan was authored by the United States, but admitted it was based on input from both the Russian side and the Ukrainian side. Rubio then distanced himself from the earlier reports as he flew to Geneva for meetings with Ukrainian and European security officials. The plan is already facing strong pushback from Europe, with leaks showing it would require Ukraine to pull back from eastern areas and shrink its military. US and Ukrainian officials are trying to arrange a meeting with President Vladimir Zelensky and President Donald J. Trump this week. Let's see. The United States is reportedly ready to help overthrow the government of Venezuela. 4 US officials told Reuters that the Trump administration is poised to launch a major new phase of operations against President Nicolas Maduro in the coming days. 2 of those officials confirmed that covert secret missions, missions will likely be the first step. But the options on the table go much further, including plans to completely remove Maduro from power. President Trump has already deployed Navy ships and forces to the Caribbean to ramp up the pressure. The White House says it is prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flooding the US and bring the regime down. Let's talk about your favorite part of your business. Is to be perfect, to be a perfectionist. Yet there are elements in that you can monetize on and make yourself become a good businessman. Every person needs someone, a guide to help them. It's not worth it working alone. I've tried and I've failed. But Baruch Hashem, I found the right person to help me. David Wanunu. Special person. I had a shmis with him here on Spin the Edge. It's in English for those of you who want to hear and want to listen. Yes, I know I said that on Edge is in Yiddish, but happens to be this episode is purely in English. And for those of you who want to enjoy it, go on to Spin the Edge or go through the lakewoodluach.com/updates and you will see it there. It's on my YouTube channel, on Edge YouTube channel. Watch it, listen to it, let me know what you think of it. David Wanunu can be reached on 201-446-5795 if you would like to get a good deal mentioned on Edge. Or email him, david@thetrepperplan.com. Okay. President Trump is set to unveil a major new healthcare plan. Unveil in English. By the way, in England they say we use words differently. Privacy. So I'm sorry, maybe you don't understand what I'm saying. Like we say you say data, we say data. You say privacy, we say privacy. We say dustbin, you say garbage can. Anyway, so President Trump is set to unveil a major new healthcare plan. Reveal. As early as today, called the Healthcare Price Cuts Act. He wants to stop what he calls surprise premium hikes before subsidies expire at the end of the year. But there is a catch. For millions of people on zero premium plans, the new bill effectively eliminates free coverage by requiring everyone to make at least a small minimum payment. The White House says this is necessary to stop the ghost beneficiaries and fraud in the system. The plan also creates a deposit program where if you switch to a cheaper insurance plan, the government puts the savings of what you saved from directly into a health savings account for you. We see this as Trump's agenda. Start saving, making Americans money, which is a great thing. Putting money into your kid's bank account, I mean, we reported it last week, by the way, for those who are tuning in for the first time. House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate leaders are being briefed on the details right now, supposedly to pass this into law. Doge is dead. The Department of Government Efficiency, better known as Doge, has been quietly disbanded 8 months ahead of schedule. The agency, led by Elon Musk, founder of Tesla, or like he says, Tesla, and SpaceX, and other great things, to slash government waste, is officially no more. The director of the Office of Personnel Management, Scott Cooper, confirmed the news with 3 blunt words. That doesn't exist. He says the department is no longer a centralized entity, and its work has been absorbed by regular government HR. This happened after Vivek Ramaswamy left the group back in January to run for governor of Ohio. While the project was supposed to last until July 2026, the Trump administration has decided to wrap it up earlier. Let's talk about earlier. The word earlier is used commonly. However, when it comes to taxis, not so much. Or better, or would I say the opposite when it comes to Arrive Express, because the name is The game is in the name. The name is in the game. Arrive Express. They arrive express, fast. 845-622-1111. If you're ever on the way from Muncie to whatever, Arrive Express. Call the number 845-622-1111. This is all you need to know when you need to book a taxi, okay? From Monroe, 845-254-1111. Just remember the words Arrive Express. You're good to go. As we predicted here on Friday, like we said in the beginning of the news segment today, the meeting with Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani and President Donald J. Trump was nothing but basically a disappointment to the left, who wanted to expect that they're going to fight like Zelensky fought, or Trump was terrible to him, he mistreated him, but it wasn't so. They were both so nice to each other, smiled a lot, patted each other's shoulders, answered questions in short, no headlines, no news for them. There was positive headlines. President Trump and the new socialist mayor of New York are suddenly getting along. The two had a fantastic meeting at the White House, using Trump words, on Friday. Reporters joked about J.D. Vance that he's jealous because Trump likes Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani so much. A reporter asked Mamdani, "You call Trump a fascist. Do you still think he's a fascist?" So Mamdani was getting blue, white, and purple. Didn't know what to say. He was like, not sure. Trump patted him on his hand and said, "Don't worry, you can just say yes." Just say yes. Trump, as usual, positively speaking about him. It's a massive shift. Think about it. Trump spent months threatening to cut New York's funding if Mamdani won the election. Now, instead of fighting, they're shaking hands and giving each other compliments. Mamdani said, "I appreciate the meeting with President Donald J. Trump." And as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration, of love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers. Trump said, "I think you're going to have, hopefully, a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am, I will say." And reporters asked him, would you be proudly living in New York City under a mayor like Mamdani? Trump said, "Of course." After this meeting, he's got views that are a little out there, different, but who knows? We're going to see what works, what happens. And he says, after meeting with him, I realized that I agree with him on matters more than I thought. Marjorie Taylor Greene, in other news, on the other side, says she's quitting Congress. She's a Republican, for all of you who want to know, because she feels betrayed by the man she fought for, Mr. Donald J. Trump, the president. The congresswoman announced on Friday night that she is leaving office on January 5. She told friends she feels unsafe now that President Trump has turned against her. The president attacked her publicly, calling her Marjorie Traitor Brown. He insists she is quitting only because her poll numbers are down. Well, of course, and she is afraid to lose. As expected for him to say, this creates a massive problem for Republicans. The majority drops just to 218 seats, forcing a rushed special election in Georgia within 40 days. But she might not be gone for too long. Politicians stay politicians. Time magazine reports she is already considering a run for the president in 2028. Against who? AOC. Okay, I don't know, maybe. Talking about running tickets and politicians, Eric Swalwell went on Jimmy Kimmel Live. For those of you who remember, his show was cancelled briefly after mocking Charlie Kirk's death, to announce his bid to be the next governor of California. He mistakenly said on his show that California is the greatest country in the world. Let's see who else is going to be running on the ticket. We know that Kamala Harris was, or wasn't, or isn't, I don't know. Back and forth the whole time, right? Trump is labeling Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization officially. We all know that some countries already listed them as a terrorist organization, but America has delayed that for some reason. President Trump says he plans to label the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization and that the final paperwork is nearly complete. Let's talk about paperwork that you don't need to complete when it comes to borrowing money for your investment. We all know you have an eye on that building you want to buy and you need a loan. So call YS Capital Group on 718-831-2168. The answer is yes. For about one hour, the official Department of Homeland Security account was listed as being located in Israel. What happened? This happened when X, formerly known as Twitter, started a new feature that automatically shows which country an account is posting from. Users instantly spotted the Israel tag on the US government's page before X scrambled to disable the tool for official officials. DHS laughed off the incident by posting a meme of a shocked President Trump. Sorry, I didn't bring up a picture of it. But while Grok claims it was just a technical glitch, the update did expose a much bigger reality. And listen to this, my friends. Thousands of accounts claiming to be American patriots or anti-Israel protesters were revealed to be bot farms. Automatic posting AIs operating from foreign countries, you guessed it, like Nigeria and Russia. Now let's shift the news to a more of a lighter, this kind of news. Thousands of Chassidim attended a Hadluka, just like you would see in Iran on the day of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai's on Lag BaOmer. Thousands attended the Hadluka by the Satmar Rebbe of Kiryas Yoel in Iran this Matzah Shabbos. It was a major event, singing and dancing, an official Hadluka, Baruch Hashem. It was nice. Okay, there was a ness in Borough Park, in the Borough Park neighborhood. A house on East 7th Street nearly went in flames after a dryer started smoking on Friday afternoon. Thanks to the fast response by volunteers from Chaverim in Brooklyn, the fire was put out with a fire extinguisher before the blaze spread. The house remains habitable, and the family escaped with what appears to only be minor damage. The incident is a strong reminder: make sure smoke detectors work, and keep a fire extinguisher near appliances, and remember to clean your ducts. Very important. Very, very important. And now you're going to hear a lot of warnings from us, because we are a news agency and we give you the news, and Hanukkah is coming, for you to make sure that when you light your menorah, your candles, it shouldn't be too close to the wall, obviously, and many other safety measures. But start thinking about it now. And Baruch Hashem, they were saved by Nissim, and it would be very appropriate right now to bring in a sponsor of someone who's like a public adjuster, like Mr. Fallman. We'll have a conversation with him. Shawarma delights. If you ever stop in Muncie and you're hungry and you need you need a delight, go into Shawarma Delight. They don't just sell shawarma, but the shawarma is great, fantastic shawarma, like the Middle East, real food, They sell schnitzel sandwiches and many other delicacies. Also, if you want, you can stop in there late at night, because they're open till very late, 10:30. And also on Thursday night, they're open till even later, till 12, midnight. They serve all kind of different things like kugel, yapchik, and many other delicious stuff. And of course, their famous shawarma at 845-272-0011. You can order it, or sdny.store, or stop in next to Bingo, 26 Spring Valley Marketplace. Okay, historic facts of the day, brought to you by The Click on this day of Dalet Kislev. Well, I made a mistake. I have to apologize, and I do have to say this. I made a mistake. Last week I said something about Rosh Chodesh Kislev, the Lubavitcher Rebbe. It was after the Lubavitcher Rebbe returned, after he had a heart attack. Shmini Atzeres, he returned on Dalet Kislev. On Rosh Chodesh Kislev, it was a big Yom Tov. I messed up something. I don't know what happened there. The information was wrong, but it is what it is. You make mistakes and you move on. Okay, thank you so much for holding and listening to me. Now, Vayihi b'shnas arba l'der Yuvash HaMelech hoye dvar Hashem el Zechariah be'arbu u'lachodesh HaTshi'i beKislev. On the 4th of Kislev, today, Zechariah was given this Neviah by Hashem, and said, Koyam Hashem Tzavuka, Zechariah said, that the Tzom Levi, Tzom Chamisha, Tzom Shvi, all the fast days, including Tisha B'Av, we will be Yeh Levai Sihid L'Susain V'Lesimchu L'Me'ad M'Toiv V'Emes V'Ashulam Yehovi. And he says that those days will be turned into Yomim Tovim, into a Yom Tov, into a happy festival, instead of a fast day, instead of a mourning day. Like morning of Beis HaMikdash, that was in the time of Beis HaMikdash Hasheni, the second Beis HaMikdash, and hopefully may these words become true and a reality for us now in the near future for the third Beis HaMikdash, very, very soon. B'mehera v'yameinu, amen. Thank you for the Click for providing this information, and I want to also remind you guys that I run this news program on Edge. You can always call me to sponsor on this, on this platform to get your company, your service out there. But also, I do ads, I make ads, I produce ads. Edgware Studios, 845-671-1775. 845-671-1775, or info@edgwarestudios.com. And with that, my friends, I will leave you to it, and we will see you Be'ezer Hashem Yisborach tomorrow with new news. On Edge.